Hi, I'm Juan Arango from Exit Ventures. If you or your family are considering selling a family business or a portfolio company, this conversation is for you. In today's videos, our managing partner, Paul Bergen, who's led over $3 billion in strategic acquisitions, will walk you through exactly how to position your company for a successful exit to a strategic buyer. So let's go ahead and dive in.
We'll talk about this in a little bit as well in terms of time to sell, but in terms of the actual determining the actual time. But when you believe that you've got relationships, ideally with one, two, three strategics, and that the business, the industry is doing well, the business is doing well, everything's kind of been up and to the right, generally speaking, and you've decided to sell, then you need to make a few decisions. Number one, hire an investment banker. There's a couple of primary things that you need to make sure you do correctly when you hire an investment banker. Number one, that banker has to have strong relationships in your industry. A lot of bankers will come through and they'll be like, oh, I've done 50 deals, I've done 100 deals. And you're like, how many have you done in my industry? Well, one, two. It's like, yeah, that doesn't work. You want an investment banker who knows your industry very well, who has strong relationships with the potential buyers. More than that, you need to do your due diligence on them, on your advisors, and you need to say, who do you know in the industry? How well do you know them? How often do you talk to them every year? How often do you play golf? How often do you play pickleball, right? Like, do you know that, have you ever met their spouse? These kind of questions will reveal to you how well they actually know somebody, because every banker in the world will over exaggerate the depth of their relationship with potential buyers until you start drilling down. So be very specific, do your due diligence. The second thing that you hire them for is to create a good process, and they need to help you look professional, but they need to run a good process that enhances competition, that prevents buyers from dropping out, and keeps buyers in the process and maximizes the competition and the price. So those are the two main things that you need to do, and you need to ask them, how is your process better than anybody else's? What do you do? How do you help us look professional? How do you keep competition in until the very end, which is also one of the key questions, is rather than letting someone kind of take over with a couple of months left to go until closing, you want to ensure competition as long as you can and as possible to prevent someone from dropping the price on you at the last minute. And I'll go into a little bit more on that a little bit later. The other thing you need to do before it's time to hire an investment banker and lawyers is to clean up your act, clean up the kitchen, clean up the dirty dishes in the kitchen, so to speak, if there are any. Open litigation, open management positions, expiring customer contracts, all of those need to be cleaned up as much as you can in order to avoid due diligence concerns and therefore price reductions or people dropping out during the process. The one thing that I would encourage, and this isn't rocket science, but it's surprising how many people don't really think about this, is you need to increase your recurring revenues and EBITDA as much as possible before a sale process. And in some cases, in some businesses, that's really hard to do. But to the extent that you can, and again, this is kind of the 2 to 3 year period to prep a business, to the extent that you can enhance your business model so that there are multi-year contractual revenues and with nice EBITDA margins, you will definitely get a premium over any business that does not have recurring revenues. That's what buyers look for: installed base of customers and multi-year contractual revenues. So to the extent that you can work on either one of those, you're going to get a nice premium. The last thing is before you start to go through a process, understand it's very time consuming. The management team, this will be a second job for them. They'll be focusing on the management or on the sale process on average about 30 hours a week. It becomes very time consuming for them. lots of meetings, lots of due diligence requests, negotiations. Um, it's very time consuming. So the business needs to be on autopilot as much as possible so the management team can focus on the sale process, and that will typically take 5 or 6 months, sometimes more. So you need, as a business owner, you need to understand that the management team, you're gonna have to clear the deck a little bit for the management team to the extent that you can, so they can sell the business at a premium.